Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Stephen Rosenbaum. I'm the co-founder of the Sustainable Media Center. We're here to talk about something simple but urgent, the need to rebuild the public square. For centuries, commerce and conversation have shared the same space. Markets thrived where people could meet, debate, trade, trust each other. But online, that balance broke. The spaces that hosted our public life, where we talk, learn, and do business, are now owned by a few private platforms. And the profits that they operate on are dependent on division, not connection. If we want a sustainable economy, we first need a sustainable information environment. And that's what we mean by a new public square, a digital infrastructure where truth and trust are good for both democracy and business.
And hello, everyone. My name is Emma Lembke. I'm the Director of Gen Z Advocacy for the Sustainable Media Center. And there is one thing that we know for sure. It's when conversations collapse, markets follow. Trust is the foundation of every healthy exchange, whether that be civic, social, or economic. And rebuilding the foundation of that work is the work of my generation, Gen Z.
So let's talk about how we got here. For most of human history, conversation was a common, unforgettable, unpredictable, messy, and alive. We met in parks, cafes, classrooms, newsrooms. We argued, persuaded, changed our minds. Conversation wasn't owned, it was shared. Today, the public square has been sold. The places where we talk, learn, and disagree are controlled by a handful of corporations whose profits depend on our division. The equation is simple. Outrage equals income. The more we rage, the more they earn. The louder the lie, the farther it travels. Every click is a vote for conflict. Every scroll funds distortion. When you turn a conversation into a commodity, truth becomes collateral damage.
And here's the thing. I felt that shift personally. So I joined Instagram at the age of 12. And, at first it was harmless. It was just for friends to connect, to have fun, to use filters. And then came this pressure. Post at the right time, crop an image a certain way, chase the likes and the followers. It got to a point where I deleted anything that actually didn't perform well. And at 15, I realized that these platforms, they weren't designed for me. I was designed for it. My attention, my data, my insecurity, all of it was monetized. And here's the thing. That's what free means online. It means that you're the product. But what free should mean is liberated, not monetized. Our current systems, they weren't built to protect democracy or mental health. They were built to maximize attention at all costs. And the cost is showing up in anxiety, polarization, and a generation that is online but feels profoundly alone.
So my story is different. I came from the first wave of digital optimism. When I created MTV Unfiltered in the 90s, we handed cameras to young people and said, go tell your own story. It was the first time mass media opened its gates. We believed democratization of storytelling would strengthen truth. 30 years later, we have the opposite. The microphone is still open, but now it's attached to an algorithm that decides which voices will rise and which will disappear. It used to be called shadow ban, but now it's just a ban. What we thought would unite us has been turned into a machine that rewards division.
And yet, even inside of these broken systems, my generation is fighting back. Gen Z has come of age inside of this algorithm. We know its tricks, we know its traps, its lies, and we're organizing to change it. We've used these same platforms to expose injustices, mobilize communities, and demand accountability. From climate action to mental health advocacy, young people are proving that digital space can be a force for civic good if it is redesigned. We're not digital captives, we're digital reformers. We don't just want better platforms, we want better systems. That's where the Sustainable Media Center stands, not as an observer, but as a builder.
So let's talk about what we're building, because we have an actual plan and we're putting it to work, and that's why we're here today. At SMC, we start with one simple idea. Conversation is infrastructure. Like clean water or public roads, it's something that a healthy democracy depends on, and it's collapsing. So we're going to rebuild it from the ground up. First, with Activate Media, a Gen Z-led incubator designing social technologies that align with civic well-being, not engagement metrics. Then we're building the social intelligence framework, framing new social media in partnership with AI, giving users the control to set how their data is created and consumed. And finally, intergenerational governance. Our board pairs young change makers with senior leaders in technology, journalism, and philanthropy to model transparency and share power. These aren't theories, they're working prototypes of what public purpose technology looks like when it's co-designed by the generation that affects it most.
And Activate Media's first cohort, it will include founding members who are reimagining moderation, online consent, community engagement and design. We will collaborate with parents, with educators, mental health experts. As you know, progress depends on resources. So to break the chain between outrage and income, we need to fund new kinds of digital institutions, ones that serve the public, not just the market. And that's what this 1 million seed round will do. It will fund Activate. It will scale our lab. It will launch our first safe social certification, a seal that helps parents, policymakers, and brands know that our platforms are actually healthy.
If we succeed, the internet becomes what it was meant to be, a place where truth, creativity, and community can thrive without distortion. Imagine a digital public space where conversations are free, liberated from surveillance and manipulation, fair, governed by transparency and democratic rules, and sustainable, built to strengthen civic life across generations. We've done this before. We've made food safer, energy cleaner, air more breathable. Now it's time to make information sustainable. And this audience, family offices, understands long horizons. You invest in legacies, not quick fixes. This is exactly where what the work requires.
And just for clarification, we don't believe that the internet is lost. We just think that it's unfinished. The next phase of web can be built with intention, designed for understanding instead of outrage, truth instead of profit, community instead of control. That work will not be done by the platforms that broke it. It'll be done by the people who refuse to accept that this is the best that we can do. We are those people. We are building the free and fair public infrastructure of conversation.
So here's how you can help build it. We're raising a $1 million seed funding to power 3 things in the next 12 months. Number 1, Activate Media, convening a Gen Z community for qualitative research and safe social media framework construction. Second, the first class of the Activate Media Gen Z founders, creating healthier platforms who want to hear what they want to build and then help them begin to conceive it. And finally, social intelligence, creating a framework around how AI can engage social media without amplifying harms or dangers. Every dollar you invest goes directly to infrastructure that restores integrity to digital life. This isn't a charity, it's legacy capital, funding a system that your children and grandchildren will rely on every day.
Like Steve was saying, we're inviting this small circle of founding partners to join us, to shape the next phase, to sit with our Gen Z board, and to help us build a model for sustainable digital governance. You can underwrite a program, sponsor a cohort, or anchor a safe social certification, but the real return genuinely is going to be cultural, helping reclaim the public square for truth, empathy, and democracy.
We're building a powerful intergenerational community. Now we need partners with vision, people who see the power of aligning capital with conscience.
The public square belongs to all of us. Now let's reclaim it and make it sustainable. Thank you all.